Good morning everyone and welcome to my craft room. My name's Julianne Richards and I'm an independent Stampin' Up demonstrator in southern Tasmania. I'm going to pre-record the video today because it's nice and quiet and sunny in my craft room today at this time, and I've got lots to do to get ready for leaving on my trip during the week. So while it's quiet and I'm focused and right to record a video, sorry, I'm cleaning my stamp while I talk. I thought I'd plough on and post this for you a bit later on. Anyway, thanks for joining me. I'll take my watch off because it makes an annoying clunk. Today I'm going to bring out one of my favourites from the current mini catalogue, which is Enduring Beauty. Now this is a really nice bundle to purchase. With the bundle price you get the Enduring Beauty stamp set, the dies, and I think the star of the show is the Enduring Beauty decorative masks. It brings it up to being a very, very special bundle indeed. Now, saying that, they're currently available at our 10% reduced bundle price of $89.50. That's in the current catalogue. Once it carries over to the new catalogue, they will no longer be available at the bundled price, so you will pay full individual price for each of those. So it takes it from, I think, $89.50 if you buy it before the end of the catalogue to up over $100 anyway, if you buy them individually once the catalogue ends. So if you love this one and you've been thinking of getting it and you want to save that wonderful 10%, grab it before the new catalogue takes effect early May, like very early May. I think it's about the 1st of May or something like that. So anyway, please, as I say, don't delay and you'll get that wonderful 10% bundle price. 10% off bundle price. Okay, so I'm going to make a little card for you today. It's just a very quick one, so it's amazing how quick it can be. But I don't want to show you the end result until we get to the end because I've got a bit of a wow moment there that I actually wanted to save till the last. But anyway, I'm going to use the, as I say, the beautiful big coloured, colourful flower here. Now I'm going to use the masks as well. So what I might do is just grab some pieces of masking tape and tape my piece of cardstock, my white cardstock, to the ground, to the mat, just so it doesn't move around when I'm using the masks. I'm going to use the big, I'm going to stamp the big flower in black. And I've just re-inked my black ink pad, so it should be nice and juicy. So I'm just rotating that so it actually fits on there is a right way and a wrong way with this one, but I still haven't managed to work out which way it is, so we'll work it with what we've got. So I'm just going to stamp that. Now it's quite a large piece of cardstock for this one. I find it much easier when I'm using the masks if I've got a bit of excess cardstock around the edge. So there we are. That again stamps perfectly with our wonderful glass mat. So please, we have no word on when that's going to go for sale, but please watch out for that to go on sale if you've been looking at it longingly. Okay, so we've got our flower. Now I'm going to use the new in colours for these. This is the new in colours, or two of the new in colours that come available to customers in the new catalogue. This is our Pretty in Pink and our Summer Splash. So lovely pink colour, and this is sort of an aqua blue-green sort of colour as well. I'm going to use both of those. I'm going to grab the masks, and I've just cleaned them off, so hopefully they're dry. So if you haven't seen me use these masks before, there's 5 masks here. And you lay each one in turn and you layer up the colours of the ink so that you get the beautiful shaded effect, light and dark effect. They're numbered. You can't see it's more of a feel there. There's a number there and a little nick in it. So once you've got them lined up, you can position the little nick so that you don't have to reinvent the wheel each time. Now, unfortunately, my little nick is over here off the cardstock, off the cardstock, so I won't be able to use that to line them up, but I will use the corner as well. So anyway, so I'm starting with the pink. So this is mask number 1, starting with the Pretty in Pink. Got my blending brush here. Going to line that up as best I can. We'll just pop a little bit of ink down the corner there, just so I've got indicator of where the corner is, so that I can bring in the next one in the right spot, and I will start blending. Now, I was surprised how dark this Pretty in Pink was as soon as I popped it onto the original card. I think it's because my ink pad is new and lovely and juicy. But it is a lovely pink colour, as you can see. There we are. So with this mask, and I think I've mentioned it before, you don't go in too hard or too dark to start with, because you're building up the colours to get the effect, and you don't want them to go hard and deep straight away. So I'll swap over to my green, and I said this is the Summer Splash. So this is mask number 2. Now let me remember how it was. The corner was there. Yep, that's it. The nick was down in this corner, and I was lining this corner up here, so we'll just line that up, and yep, that fits pretty well. Now, the Summer Splash is also very dark straight off the bat. As I say, I'm not sure whether that's the colour or the fact that my ink pad's new. And I just love this blending brush colouring. I think it's wonderful, because that's just really nice straight away, isn't it? You wouldn't really need to go much further than that unless you wanted to. Okay, so this is 3. So this one we swap back to the pink. This one adds more depth to our gorgeous flowers. So rotate it so the nick's down at the bottom, that corner lines up. The masking tape started to lift. Line that up. Once you've got it lined up, you know you're in the right spot. You can see it lines up with the various lines in the flowers. Oh, didn't open my ink pad. Okay. Now we're going for a little bit of darker colour now, so we can give it a bit more free rein. And that just adds more and more detail. We bring back our leaves. We'll swap over to our green. I don't want to get my 2 colours mixed up. That would be a disaster. There we are. So back to our green. Nick down that side. Corner there. And again, we're adding more and more colour, more and more depth. We can go a bit darker on this one. I love this bundle. I'm so glad it's continuing on, so we can keep using it, or I can keep showing it to you. I think it would be something that I would keep even for my own uses later on. Okay, and the last one just adds a little centre to our flowers just there. Now I have seen people go the darker version, like maybe for this you'd go to Berry Burst or something like that, but I won't bother getting another colour out. I'll just go extra of our Pretty in Pink. That's pretty good. And again, we'll go darker again with that. Okay, perfect. That's lovely. Okay, so that is our flower, and I might just stick it and show it to you nice and close. Get the messy bits out of the way. Okay, so there we are. So as you see, you've got the veins in the leaves and the little dark bits of the flowers and the shadows in the flowers, and that's just gorgeous. And if you're a bit of a colouring challenged person like me, that's a perfect way of getting it. Now I'm going to, I've wandered away, I know I've wandered away, grab my my cut and emboss machine and cut that out. Here's our die from the die set. Let's line that up and cut out. And then the fun really begins with this card design. There we are. So that's all cut out and done now. There we go. Gorgeous. Okay, so now I'm going to continue on, and this is the wow or oh my goodness, what are you doing moment. And I'll show it to you now. You'll probably freak out like I did when I first did it. First of all, this is card base with ink on it. Just bear with me, I'll get the ink off the mat and work out which is the best way to use the card. This way, I think. It's got a bit of a splodge on the back there, but I don't want to waste it, so I'll keep using it. This is a smaller than usual card base. I'm actually using the size of our, where are they, note cards. Anyway, our note cards and envelopes. So this is a smaller size. The reason I did that, I'll just grab a big card. You can see the difference in the size. The end result I thought was nicer with the smaller card, and you'll see why in a minute when you see what I'm just about to do to those flowers. I just thought that on a smaller card base this was a more effective look, but you'll see what I'm going to do now. Okay, so I'm going to grab my paper trimmer. Pop those over there so I don't have more ink accidents. Grab my paper trimmer. Grab my little flowers, and what I'm going to do is freak you all out by cutting it first of all in half. Just trying to get it the right way, the same way as I did with the original. I'm going to cut it in half. Okay, so breaks your heart, but there you are, it's done. I've cut it in half. And then one piece, this one, I'm going to rotate it 90 degrees and I'm going to cut it in half again. About where? Just let me work out where I did it in the first one. About there, I think I did. No, that doesn't seem right. About halfway along the pattern. About there, that'll do. So I've got 3 pieces of our little card there, of our little flower, and that's like, oh my goodness, you took all that trouble and then you cut it in half. Don't worry, it's going to be wonderful. Now we'll get our little card base. What I'm going to do is grab our pieces of beautiful flower, and I'm going to pop them back onto the card base, but now I've made that even worse. Turn it inside out. Yeah, I'll turn it inside out. No, actually I'm going to make myself another one because otherwise I won't be able to use this one, and I'd really like to use it. So forgive me, I'm going to just get the ink off my fingers. Ink accidents, as you know, if you watch me, they happen periodically. I'm going to cut myself another card base. 5. So it's 5 high as a card, and it's 3.5 wide. And this time I'll keep it nice and white and ink free. That's the plan. Okay, so give that a bit of burnish. Here we are. I'm sure I'll use the rest of that white on something else, just as a layer or something, but not for the card base. As I say, this time I'm going to line up our little cut up pieces of flower, and I'm going to line them up with the various corners that they naturally fit into. So the right angles there, you can see I'm lining them up with the 2 right angles on the card base, and then this long one is going along there. So that's what I'm going to do, I'm going to pop a little sentiment straight onto the card base there in the middle. And then I'm just moving it so I know I have space for the card, for the sentiment I want. There we are, that's better. Is that better? Yeah. So, yes, I'm going to pop a little sentiment straight onto there and then actually set each of these little pieces onto dimensionals. So, yeah, so it looks like a floating frame card. It's not actually, it's like a false floating frame, but it's, yeah, I think that's really, really pretty. So I know the sentiment's got to go in that little blank space there. Can't use that one. That was on my original, used Holding You Close in My Heart. That's also from the stamp set, but I've cut these slightly different. So I'll go, you mean so much to so many. Same sort of sentiment there, but it'll fit that little gap a little bit easier than Holding You Close in My Heart. Grab my black ink again. So while I've got those in place and I know where they're going to go, I'll pop the sentiment in. Just so it's in and in the right spot. Here we are. Nothing better than a nice freshly re-inked black ink pad. Now this is a lot of dimensionals. So if you're like me and you tend to use your dimensionals a little bit sparingly, this is going to be a little bit of a shock. What I'm going to do is use big ones for the main sections along the edges, but I'll pop some little ones on as well just to sort of save the space. I've got some edges there, I might use those instead. Some really nice usable edges. There we are. Take the covers off those. Now, as I say, line up the corners with the corners. So it looks like they've just poked their heads in over the edge there. This last one, nice big long one. Actually, the edge ones are perfect for this because they've got a nice long leading edge, so that's great. Oh, if they stay on. Flying away on me. Now, and this one is nearly done. As I say, a lovely, quick, effective, sort of, yeah, unusual card here today. Line that one up with the edge. that little bit of extra height on those flowers gives it so much more interest than if I'd just done it straight onto the card base. That's really, I love it. I love, love, love it. Okay, so I'm going to use the new In Colour Shimmer Gems for my bling. I'm going to used the green on the first one. I might use the same pink on this one just to see if I like it as much. We can compare the pair. Always takes me a few tries to work out where I want my bling. I tend to follow the odd number triangle rule. So there's always an odd number, 3, 5, 7, and I always pop them in, try and get them in as much as I can, a triangle to highlight the sentiment. So it's always around the sentiment. So there we are. And just a final bit, what I thought was just add a bit of extra shine. I'll get my Stella. I'm just going to pop the Stella just in that centre area where that dark sort of stamen area of the flower, just to highlight that. I think too much bling on it would detract from the rest of the card, but I think just in those little, and the blink of Stella always deepens the ink colour as well, which is what we want. Okay, so there is my beautiful sort of Enduring Beauty floating frame card. And here's the original one. This is the one I did this morning. As you can see, it's got the summer splash bling on it instead of the pink. But they're both gorgeous. And I mean, exactly the same picture, but because I've exactly the same image, but because I cut it in a slightly different way, they do look quite different. So I think you can make up 5, 6 of those, pop them together in a little notepad, like in a little box, and that would be a lovely, lovely present. And so quick too. So we've basically gone from nothing to a beautiful card in 20 minutes. So if you did sort of 4 or 5 in a batch, you could get them done in no time at all using, as I say, the note card and envelopes. There we are. So hopefully you like that one. I'll finish up today, tidy the craft room, and get on with my preparations for my trip. Watch out for lots of updates while I'm away. I don't want to make you all jealous, but since so many of you helped me earn the incentive trip this year, you all should see what you contributed to. But anyway, thanks for joining me. As I said, this is the Enduring Beauty bundle, which at the moment you can get at 10% off our normal, the individual price as a bundle. But once the new catalogue clicks over, you'll have to buy them individually and not get that bundle 10% off savings. But anyway, it will be available, and that is the main thing. Okay, so here we are. Thanks very much for joining me. Have a great weekend, and I will chat to you all again next week.